Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about player development and how you can optimize your player development and personalize it as much as you like. As you can see here, I'm under my 19th squad, and I've got some quite promising players in the making. So if I wanted to develop these players into being the best possible players that I could, there's a few steps that I will go through and talk to you guys about. So number one step, of course, is match experience on a first team level. So when these players turn 16, they'll now be eligible for the first team, um, and and then I can start to give them playing time on the first team. However, one rule of thumb is, for me personally, that I usually give them at least 15 games a season. 15 games of 90 minutes a season. Um, or else I'll try and loan them out. 15 games is kind of for me the minimum, because then they will reach the maximum outcome of their training and match experience in the development process. So 15 games doesn't have to be 90 minutes straight. It can be 45 minutes or a half in cup games. It could be uh, unimportant league games. It could be Europa games, etc., etc. It cannot be training games. Um, yeah. Next tip that I have for you guys is, of course, the training. How to set up the proper training. And here I'll take you through my first of all my under 19 training, and here you'll see that I have balanced, and it's on high. I've tried to somewhat balance it out. So I've put tactical for 3 months, ball playing for 3 months, defending for 3 months, and attacking for 3 months, and sometimes fitness. And apparently, for some players, it gives better results. But I just like to play it safe and have balance done. It improves all the stats at an even number. Um, some players are more suited tactical, some players are more suited offensive, etc., etc., etc. I just like to keep it simple, and I put the scheduling on high, less match training, more general training for the 19th, so they develop their attributes, which contributes to playing better in the games, of course. And over here, I've just put on match tactics. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect player development. The better they're playing games, of course, the better they become. So it's not really that important. And down here, the how to say, the level of my training facilities, how good they are. It's very important that whenever you have the money, go to your board, click on your board, make a request. I can't do it at the moment, but there's a tab here called facilities, and just ask to improve them. It will cost you around, I think, 2 to 5 million to improve both them and the youth facilities. It's extremely important in developing your own talents. Um, Also, having good trainers, having good personnel is also really important. I'll show you mine. Under training coaches, you can see the goal is to get 5 stars in all of these categories here. I haven't got 5 stars. It's pretty tough. I'm not the biggest club either, so I cannot attract the best personnel, but I've got 4 at minimum all over the place, and the burden is light. So meaning the best results are getting out of my training. So also important. My next thing, developing youngsters, is really important, and that is you want to give them a tutor. Why? Because I just had this guy come in, Edmir Yamakovic. His determination is already pretty high, 16, but he hasn't got any player traits yet. Um, he's got a nice personality. It's professional, and when giving a player a tutor, um, what is going to happen is their stats will increase more frequently. Also, they will, let's say that I chose, who do I have here? I have players just due to the tutoring. I've got this guy, for example. Look at this guy. He's 32 years old. He's got 20 determination, and he's got place shots for offensive or central midfielder. That's pretty decent if you want somebody up here to be to get goals and improving determination and stats. So I've told him let me see here. I've told him to tutor one of my youngsters. So he's gonna improve in determination, but he's also gonna gain that. Hopefully, he's gonna gain that player trait, personal player trait. So he's also gonna play shots. There's a high possibility for that to happen. So I've got this guy here, Peter. So I'm gonna go Frank, and he's at the moment being tutoring by an Englishman called Mikhail Falevi. He used to have 13 in determination. Now he's 15 in just a half of a month. This guy has the potential of becoming an extremely good striker. He's only 15 years old, and next year I will try and sign a new guy with more than 15 determination and with some decent player traits, so he can increase, so he can become more determined. Now he's just fairly determined. I want him to become more determined, and I want him just to become better overall, quicker. This is the main way that I develop youngsters. I give them a tutor. 6 of my players right now have a tutor. I give them a tutor, and I make sure that the tutor are more determined than these young players, and I make sure that their player trait is something useful. Let's say that I had a right winger, and he had the trait running down the right flank. Then I wouldn't give this tutor to a left winger, for instance. That would be stupid. Or what if I had a left winger who I wanted to cut inside, and he had the trait always runs down the left wing? It wouldn't make any sense. It would interfere with each other. So be careful about that when you assign players to each other. And yeah, to finish off with, it's important to note that some players, when players get into this game, they have a set current ability and a set potential ability. If you want to increase the potential ability of the youngsters you get into your under 19 squad, you'll have to look at the let me see where it is. You'll have to look at facilities. You have to look at your youth recruitment. Youth recruitment is the tells you the higher that gets, the higher the potential ability of the players becomes. Junior coaching is the opposite. That's the current ability. So make sure to always ask your board to upgrade this and this to have the best possible youngsters coming into your club. Yeah, if you've got any questions, just ask them, and I'll try and answer them. And thank you for your time, guys.